Sports franchises are big business. That's not exactly news. And because of the money from ticket sales and merch and sponsorships and broadcast rights and more, most professional franchises have nonprofit arms, or at least departments that are active for the good of the community. Here in Cincinnati, we've got the big three. Pretty nice move for a Cincinnati Bengal. Let's keep the feel-good going for today's Big Bite. Sports franchises are big business. That's not exactly news. And because of the money from ticket sales and merch and sponsorships and broadcast rights and more, most professional franchises have nonprofit arms, or at least departments that are active for the good of the community. Here in Cincinnati, we've got the big three. Let's start with the newest one. I want to break some of this down. FC Cincinnati Foundation, which made an intro to the community just in late 2018.
It's an exciting time here at FC Cincinnati for many reasons as we transition to Major League Soccer. I'm Kate Solomon, Vice President of Community Relations for FC Cincinnati, and I'm thrilled today to announce the start of the FC Cincinnati Foundation. Being a part of the community has been an important part of the club since the start, and this is an exciting next step in that process. Our mission is to improve the lives of children in our community through the love of soccer, with programming that centers on character development, physical activity, and mental well-being. As we launch the FC Cincinnati Foundation, we will continue to work with many long-term partners, including Cincinnati Public Schools and the Cincinnati Recreation Commission, along with many others. We will build on existing programming, including the Club Ambassador Program, in which alumni player Omar Cummings visits local schools. The West End Pride soccer teams, which launched this past fall with 2 teams participating in Say Soccer, will expand to additional teams this spring. We will also continue to invest in mini soccer pitches throughout the greater Cincinnati area. The FC Cincinnati Foundation will allow us to build upon these base programs while adding more as we go. We're thrilled to continue working with our fan base and the greater Cincinnati community as we go. To follow along with our community projects and to find out how you can get involved, visit fccincinnati.com/foundation and follow us on social media at FCC_Foundation on Twitter, FCC Foundation on Instagram, and at FC Cincinnati Foundation on Facebook.
That was late 2018, and just 1 year after that, in December of 2019, FCC announced that it had a $1 million impact in its first year. The majority of that money going to programming for underserved youth, especially through soccer and other sports programming. That's going to be a refrain you hear a little bit in this Big Bite. The club says more than 33,000 local kids were directly impacted by the foundation's work in that first year. That's a pretty impressive stat for year one. In terms of what kind of financial activity FC Cincinnati Foundation has going on currently, we turn to ProPublica to check out some of the latest filings. You can see steady, nearly annual growth of revenue through 2023 at least. You can also see a big jump in expenses in 2023, with a big jump in assets then in 2024. I believe that's going to be from the foundation building 3 new mini pitches that year in Bond Hill, Douglas Park, and Lunken Playfield. 10 mini pitches have been built so far, with at least 10 more in the works. That's not to be confused with the Soccer Unites program. That focuses on teaching children about soccer during in-school and after-school programming. Along with athletic outreach and programming, there's also FCC Foundation's academic outreach.
We are here today at the Cincinnati Zoo for our annual Learning is Cool event. This is a night that we're celebrating students for reaching the A honor roll at least twice during the school year.
Congrats, this is for you. Free chili. Free. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know. I think that's nice with the zoo stuff there. That video posted really just a couple of days ago. Each quarter, kids in Cincinnati Public Schools, Covington Independent Public Schools, North College Hill, and Cincinnati Preparatory Academy who make the A honor roll get a prize and a congratulatory letter from team president and co-CEO Jeff Birding. Over 23,000 rewards distributed in the foundation's most recent report. The FC Cincinnati Foundation has a lot of other programs, but I wanted to highlight what it's doing for the West End specifically. You might remember quite a bit of controversy about FC Cincinnati building its stadium in that neighborhood, and there were a number of commitments made to support the neighborhood in the aftermath of construction. For kids, there's West End Pride, offering children age 4 to 14 free access to recreation-level soccer, competing in an association with weekly practices, games, and special events. Other West End commitment activities: we've got multiple installments of $100,000 grant funding. There's various events with Gary the Lion and the street team, a Halloween candy handout in the neighborhood, and a food drive, which raised nearly $13,000. The FC Cincinnati Foundation also gives grants to a number of organizations in the West End or those supporting development there, like Big Brothers Big Sisters, Cincinnati Museum Center, Our Daily Bread, and also covering the cost of prom for students at Taft High School. Shifting gears now to a different kind of football, Bengals community efforts have a bit of a different structure. Rather than one large foundation, the Bengals operate a broad corporate giving model. More than $1 million generated every year for community groups through direct contributions, NFL charities, and business partner efforts, supporting over 100 organizations every year. Along with that, 250 to 300 individual player appearances that are made. Former Director of Strategy and Engagement, now Vice President Elizabeth Blackburn, has described the philosophy as amplifying the work other organizations are already doing. And those organizations have some names everyone in town recognizes, like the Anthony Munoz Foundation. And of course, there's also the Joe Burrow Foundation, which has a stated mission to provide resources and support to the underprivileged and underserved. But there's also a real focus on food insecurity for the Joe Burrow Foundation. That's from his foundation's most recent report, thanking sponsors and detailing the work that was done last year. Honestly, individual player foundations could be a big bite topic in and of themselves. There's a lot of good being done out there. More recent examples of the Bengals organization backing other groups. That right there is rookie Landon Robinson. I had the pleasure of shaking his hand just yesterday when he came by the studio to talk to the First Word crew. He's not that big of a guy. That's a picture of him helping to build a new playground for Hometown Huddle in conjunction with the United Way and the Cincinnati Recreation Commission. There are also thousands of Bengals-themed power packs that are generated to help make sure kids are fed via the Free Store Food Bank and Fifth Third Bank. Also, things like equipment donations with Good Sports to the Evanston Bulldogs and the West End Little Senators. And then we've also got the Reds Community Fund. Some would say maybe the gold standard around here, a standalone 501c3 that's been going for more than 20 years. Taking a look at some financial snapshots here, again from ProPublica, you'll notice a big jump in revenue in the year 2013. Now, I have to assume that's because the team went to the playoffs in 2012 with 97 wins. You'll also see under assets, big jumps in 2013 and in 2014. Since it was created back around the turn of the century, it saw a big boost in support when the Castellinis took over team ownership just a few years after that. The Reds Community Fund has used sports as a vehicle to better the community. Again, that's the vehicle with which the good is done. It's dedicated to improving the lives of underserved kids through baseball, softball, education, and community building. Take a look at this.
To celebrate Play Ball Weekend, the Cincinnati Reds and the Reds Community Fund hosted an official Major League Baseball pitch, hit, and run competition on June 7th at the P&G MLB Cincinnati Reds Youth Academy in Roselawn. Pitch, Hit, and Run gives boys and girls ages 7 to 14 the opportunity to showcase their baseball and softball skills in a fun, free, and welcoming environment. Participants were evaluated in pitching, hitting, and running, with scores combined for a chance to advance to the regional competition at Great American Ballpark.
I got 150 points when I was just pitching, and I did really well. I think I'm going to do well in all of it.
And our kids showed up in a big way. More than 200 young athletes participated, while over 600 guests visited the academy throughout the day. The event was a celebration of youth sports, community, and the simple joy of getting outside and playing the game we love. Thank you to everyone who joined us for a memorable day that reminded us all how much fun it is to play ball.
I got to say, I really like seeing videos of kids playing. That's such a wholesome thing to support. You'll also note that these sort of events are going on during baseball season. They're not waiting for the off season to do this stuff. The Reds Community Fund impacts more than 50,000 athletes and coaches across Reds country, which goes well outside of the bounds of the city of Cincinnati. They do that every year with more than $2 million invested in the community.